I call this hearing of the Senate Committee on Agriculture, Nutrition, and Forestry to order. We started off this year by holding two field hearings, one at Kansas State University, followed by another in Senator Stavenow's home state of Michigan. Two great hearings. At 600 in Kansas, we had a smaller place, but they crammed in 250 plus. We were there to do one thing, and that was to sit on the wagon tongue and listen, and we will continue to do that. We listen to farmers, ranchers, lenders, cooperatives, many others in rural America regarding what's working, what's not working, what needs to be improved in the 2014 Farm Bill. One thing is very clear. Times are extremely challenging right now in farm country, and that's why we are here today to examine the economic landscape of rural America. When the 2014 Farm Bill was written and passed, times were relatively good in agriculture. But as everyone knows, or should know, a lot has changed since then. At the time, net farm income was at record highs. In the years since, the farm sector is expected to face a 50% decline in net farm income. Low commodity prices are continuing to weigh on farm sector profits for both row crop and livestock producers. It's everybody. Crop receipts are expected to decline by over $42 billion and livestock receipts over $23 billion. On the credit front, reduced farm income over the past 4 years has continued to weaken credit conditions in the ag sector. Demand for farm loans as well as renewals and extensions has increased due to ongoing cash flow shortages and prolonged tight profit margins are creating additional declines in repayment rates for our farm loans. Right now, weakness in the crop and livestock sector is causing producers to expend more working capital to meet short-term obligations. Many farmers are becoming more leveraged as working capital is decreasing while debt levels continue to rise. Obviously, this is a trend that should be monitored very closely and, if possible, reversed, but let us not forget there are a number of economic factors which are different now than what was seen during the 1980s. Over the past few years, we have global production that has exceeded global demand. The fundamentals of supply and demand are certainly working. At the same time, our government is spending money it doesn't have. Our national debt is approaching $20 trillion. That's trillion with a T. That's 20, and then you put 12 zeros behind it. That's hard to even imagine. Despite these difficult conditions, time and time again, agriculture has been asked to do more with less. I would remind everyone in this room that the last Farm Bill voluntarily cut spending, and the previous crop insurance contract negotiation cut $6 billion from the program on top of a previous $6 billion cut from 2008 Farm Bill. Whoever did that had some relationship with Lizzie Borden. That's why virtually everyone on this committee agrees that ag is already given at the store. Farmers, ranchers, and rural families understand fiscal responsibility. They want to do their part, but now is not the time for additional cuts. We need to review what is working and what is not working. What is needed is certainly bold thinking and new ideas that address today's challenges in these tough times in the agriculture economy. We need to ensure that producers have risk management tools at their disposal. Let me emphasize that crop insurance is the most valuable tool in the risk management toolbox. Let me emphasize that crop insurance is the most valuable tool in the risk management toolbox.
What was that, Mr.
Heidi, did you get me?
I did. I think it bears repeating, though, Mr. Chairman.
I second that motion.
Let me emphasize, would the distinguished new member of the committee like me to repeat that?
Yes, please.
Let me emphasize that crop insurance is the most valuable tool in the risk management toolbox. We need to find ways to reduce regulatory burdens that hurt our producers' bottom lines, and we need to strengthen our export markets for not only the things that we make, but also for the things that we grow. I think we're making some progress on that front. As I've said before, we need a farm bill that meets the needs of producers, all regions, and all crops. Let me emphasize that, all regions and all crops. The challenges are so great. Given the critical times we live in, it is essential that small differences do not get in the way of a larger goal, and that is to pass a farm bill. Today, we will take a deeper look and work to understand expectations of the economic landscape and the challenges that all regions of rural America face. I remind my colleagues that the occupation of farming can be a very challenging profession. Earlier this year, farmers and ranchers from Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, and Colorado experienced devastating wildfires, prairie fires, the largest prairie fire in the history of the country on non-federal lands. It affected more than 1 million acres across the 4 states. On top of that, just a couple of weeks ago, a massive blizzard dumped over 20 inches of snow that has the potential to impact roughly 40% of the wheat acreage in Kansas. Our producers in other states are also facing floods, diseases, and poor planting conditions. These weather events layered on top of the economic conditions are exactly why it is important that we have strong risk management tools available to help producers manage during the times of loss. I think I mentioned the importance of crop insurance. We know that times are tough in the agriculture economy. Going forward, we can do one of two things. We could focus on narrow interests that don't serve all of agriculture, or we can work together to get things done like we have in the past. This may require compromise, and all sectors of the agriculture economy will have to work together to achieve that goal. At the end of the day, our role on this committee is to pass a farm bill that provides certainty and stability to farmers, ranchers, and rural communities across the country. I would like to thank our witnesses for taking time out of their valuable schedule for being with us here today. I look forward to hearing your testimony